astrology as far as Andrew Tate and get into his tarot reading. I just quickly got ready this morning and I noticed that I haven't done any readings for a couple days, and I took a little bit of a break. I realized that Andrew Tate was in jail. I don't know what that means anymore. I don't know what that means. Okay. So either way, we are going to get into the astrology and a little bit about Andrew Tate, as well as anything at the end of this reading will be about all the information you need on Hangman Tarot. Other than that, please go ahead, hit subscribe while you're waiting. I'm going to get into his shuffle and we'll go over all of his astrology. We'll go over all the information that we need to know about this gentleman. Okay, here we go. Monday, December 1st, 1986 is when Andrew Tate was born. He was born in Washington, United States. Really? I thought he was born somewhere else. That's weird. I'm completely hallucinating. I thought he was born in a different country. Let me think here. Let me go in here. He's a British American media personality. Emery Andrew Tate is an American British social media personality, businessman, and a formal kickboxer. And his following in his kickboxing career, he began offering paid courses and memberships through his website, and that later rose him to fame as an internet celebrity. Yeah, Washington's where he was born. That's so weird. He's 6'3". Oh, he is tall. Okay, so they put him in jail, though. Let's get into this. I want to find out a little bit more about this. Again, I haven't really been keeping up on this. People keep talking about it, and I'm like, that's not true. Like, that's bizarre, right? Like, he was just, like, talking a bunch of stuff, all this great, wonderful things about, you know, the positivity influence on men in the Matrix, and now he seems to be in jail. Okay. Social media firms in the spotlight. This is according to theguardian.com, and after allowing conspiracy theories that could affect human trafficking investigation into a king of toxic masculinity in another country. And just not going to get into super thick details here. Da-da-da. Yeah, he was arrested for connection in... I don't think I can say that word, honestly. I think, sorry about that. I had a phone call. So there's basically, he was arrested for things that you're not supposed to be doing. And isn't it? It's under investigation. So it's probably not much that can be done or talked about mostly. Posts were claiming that he had been fired, and there was theories saying that he had been set up. Either way, these theories are kind of making it so that it might be put at risk for the integrity of the investigation. And blah, 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 blah. So he's in jail. I'm just going to do a general read. I mean, he's probably miserable, right? If he's in jail. So there's not like a whole bunch that can be done here. This is not at all funny, but you know what I get. You know what I'm getting here. I just feel like sometimes we're watching something on from our perspective or our view, we really think these things are happening, but I just don't take them that seriously anymore. Like, honestly, I think that half the shit don't even happen. I think that they set all these up for a public stunt or whatnot. And I think a lot of things are set up throughout, like, you know, he can't even go anywhere with like somebody making it so that he reacts or responds to something. So it's like, he's a no win-win here. There's a no win-win here. Okay, so he's a Sagittarius. And then his birth path is a 1. Let's see. This poor man. I don't know what it is, but I just like, it's just one of those things where I'm like, oh. But if you're being like really bad in what they're being jailed for, then yeah, never mind. Never mind. No compassion. I can't pick who I choose compassion for. It just happens. I'm just compassionate. Unfortunately. Whatever. I don't even care. Let's just do his thing. Okay. So there's responded. Apparently there's been bans, and he's responded by saying that while most of his comments were taken out of context, he takes responsibility for how they have been received. Media personality Jake Paul denounced Tate's sexism. I don't even know what that means, but criticism of the bans and censorship. So whatever. His personal life probably sucks right now. So let's just get into it. Wonderful. legal issues. I wonder if he's out of jail. If anyone knows if he's out of jail, let me know, because I don't know. It doesn't matter anyway, either way. Let's just find out. I'm going to get into the oracle reading. We're going to find out a little bit about the surface stuff, and then we'll get into it a little bit further with our tarot reading. Finally, I was exhausted after that. God. Okay. To the sea. Okay, so currently his higher power or spiritual is off a little bit. So there's definitely some sort of lack of security because that comes in a low frequency. So I'm just getting kind of looking over stuff, currently just in a place of where he's vulnerable. I mean, he feels like there's no security. He feels like he's been put out to sea, motherfucker. He literally has been put out to sea. He's been put in jail. So his higher power, or him being in connection and feeling like, oh, spiritually, I'm feeling lifted today, is going to be a little low. It's going to lack a little bit of stability here. I think just him kind of reflecting over everything and assessing the situation and going over things while he's out to sea or while he's been jailed. I mean, of course, you're going to have to do that, and there's like a huge stability in that. But other than that, I mean, that higher power, it's going to be, you know, blinkety blink there for a minute. But I think after a minute, it'll be fine. Because you're going to have to get into some sense of higher power if you are locked up. I'm locked up. They won't let me out. Totally locked up. Okay. Let's find out what else is going on here. Let's get into it a little bit more around the situation with Tate, Sagittarius. One more. Okay. Let's go. Let's go. Do you guys like the new setup? Somebody told me to try and use the phone. Why haven't I used my phone? I think it looks better. It's more clear. You can probably see me better. Don't mind this stuff. I just got up. We've been sleeping in, and then we have like a really lazy morning. We have a really big breakfast. Like we all like argue in the morning and just, you know, go off on subjects. And then by the time I get upstairs, I get things cleaned up, done, taken care of. I got to get on. So here I am. So this is what you get. Okay. Yeah, and he's definitely going to say that everything is fine because that's what he does. So as far as like any plans of action or anything moving forward in this, he's going to act as if this is okay, everything's fine. And he's going to come into closing of the door, some completion or ending when it comes to some plan or something to do with an organization or even communicating about something. That's going to come to an ending here soon. I don't even know what the hell that means. I'll be out there in a minute. Okay? Okay, love you.
Love you.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. And this is all to do, anything to do with him kind of acting like everything's fine, even though it's not fine, is his temper. He's exhausted. He's burnt out. I mean, this will come to an ending, but there's a lot of distance between him and the ending as of right now, especially with this type of thing going on. Even though it could be adventurous, it's exciting, it's afar, it's probably at a distance to where he's usually at. The decision, I feel like here, is the mere fact that, yeah, there's an unpredictability about it, and that's all the root cause. Is that unpredictability, that temper. And this has all to do with the past, or, you know, anything he has as far as like memories in the past or things that he's done. The give and take, though, is of balance. So sorry to tell you, fellas and ladies, there's a balance. There's no like power struggle, and there's no abuse within his authority. Sorry to tell you that, but that's just what it is. So I don't know. What do you all think? I'm honestly like shocked that this actually came up with the Six of Cups. Because I that's just indicating to me that there is nothing overly intense. There's nothing like unrealistic here. There's nothing like uncalled for as far as flow and a back and forth love connection, some sort of a connection to this whole situation. I mean, I don't think that he has had his hand on, you know, an abusive power or trying to manhandle, you know, maneuver his way through by, you know, showing someone something and dangling it over their head, or, you know, like kidnap or whatever the hell they said, human whatever. I'm not gonna keep, I don't even want to say the words. Okay. Within the past, this has a lot to do with what's going on currently with the King of Pentacles. It's just indicating to me because he is tangible. He is very much in regards to money or business management. He is the one. He is it. He is the leader of his class, if you will. So I think anything to do with transformation and growth, that scares people. Okay, people, I just want to let you know that anything to do with financial and business management and leading yourself in almost like a very independent looking way. It's almost like this very reliable way, like he doesn't need anybody. That fucking terrifies people. So of course people are gonna he's going to be, somewhat of a target of something, even if he's guilty or not guilty, whatever it is. I'm just not seeing an abuse and power here. I don't see abuse of it. Not yet. Okay. And anything in the past, again, as far as him being kind of, the leader of the pack, if you will, the leader of that pack, he's definitely being seen for that. And that is something that irritates people, like a lot of people, like large groups of people. Unfortunately, people can't just be happy for other people. Even if he is guilty, throw away the key. But if he's innocent, throw him a bone, okay? Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Oh, my Lord. Okay, so this has all to do with, anything that he has nurtured as far as what he is passionate about. So anything that he came into or came onto the scene with as far as an opportunity, this just advanced him in his life completely. This creative new endeavor that he went on, or anything going on as far as spiritual or any connection to just nurturing and being a light for people. So I also think, though, maybe the lack of communication or the way that he communicates really makes him a target also, which that would make sense to me. I feel like there's definitely no abuse, again, within the power dynamic between him and whatever group we're talking about here that he's incarcerated for. I think, though, that he wanted change and he wanted something he wanted the change to be logical, rational, intellectual. So he is really smart, but again, this is not the way that we're wanting him to communicate or plan or to be. He could be the most amazing human being on earth, but for some reason there is a large group or some large groups that don't like when people rise to, some sort of fame or whatever, especially if it's not in the way that they want them to do it. It's wrong. It's wrong because you do not look like me. Boo, boo, boo. Okay. So anything upcoming, he does have some flow ahead. He does have some balance coming in. I think there's also a lot of just not really being aware. And just the conflict here for me is just, there is no change here going on for him. I feel like there could be a pregnancy even, or somebody with kids around him, because the Emperor and the Star is just giving me all sorts of baby vibes. And I think that I've already stated that on one of my readings of his. I can't quite remember, but I'll check. The flow, the balance is nice. The emotions are not overly intense. I feel like there's definitely some sort of new beginning happening, some sort of growth, almost so much so that it makes him a father of something. Now, he could be, likely upcoming is a father of a baby or father of something, as far as something planned or something organized or something that is already there. So he could become a father to children that are not his. But again, he's not going to tell you all that. He's not going to be like, hey, I have kids. Because you'll come for them. You'll come for his cubs, and he don't want you to. He knows that. He's not a dilly-dally. He's not a dummy. He knows better. But I think there's a lot of light around it. I think it's supported. So anything upcoming is that he won't be super courageous about whatever this is with this leadership role that he's gaining, or this father role, or this daddy, whatever. He could be taking on kids or having a child, or just something that, something that has been organized or planned could unfold, but that is yet to be determined. I think that, as far as change, I think that's coming, but I don't think he can communicate it much. And again, I just don't know if he's very aware of this, this inspiration that is headed his way, or this boost of energy that he may gain, or the stability that he lacks as of right now. I think that it's coming his way. So either way, I do hope the best in whatever that situation is. Again, I don't like to get into detail about all that stuff because there's no guilty or innocent at this point. And I don't want to say those words because I don't know if you're supposed to. So I'm trying to learn. Here we go. Here we go on the learning train. Please hit subscribe to Hangman Tarot if you would. Please and thank you. Go ahead and hit that bell. When you hit that bell, it's going to make it so you don't miss anything here at Hangman Tarot. Other than that, I will be back with another reading, and I will see you all later. See ya.